Okay, so is this for,
We're just changing the date.
July, or, June 30th.
I see what you did, you put June instead of July. Okay, so amend item 5B for Saturday, July the 30th. Is there a second?
Second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Okay, item number 3, A, B, C, and D. Move to accept all.
Second.
Thank
And we
you.
have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just would like to read before we go, so you can all hear, for Parks and Rec, they would like to thank the following people. These are all donations for their 5K road races, and it's $750 Living Stones Community Church, $500 from O'Keefe Orthodontics, $250 from Yardscapes, $500 from Emmons Tree Services, $250 from Candlewood Valley Pediatrics, $250 from Bakewell and Mulhare, $250 from Matson Financial, $1,000 from Dawn Howe, I say that, Huff, sorry.
Yep.
Knew it wasn't right. $500 from Lasco Roofing and Sheet Metal, $250 from Savings Bank of Danbury, $25 gift card from Stop and Shop, $50 gift card from Stu Lenners, and a $25 gift card from Costco. These monetary donations will be deposited into an account deemed appropriate by the Director of Finance, and the Parks and Rec would like to thank these donors for their generosity. Item 3D that we added is the appointment of Recycling Committee 2. It's a temporary committee.
These are all the same members that were in recycling before.
That'd be Catherine Francis, Jay Lewin, Frank Wargo, and Barbara Wolf, and that would be from May the 9th, 2022 through November the 8th of 2022.
Any discussion on the consent agenda? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Thank you.
Mary Jane, did she vote?
Yeah, aye.
Oh, aye, okay. That moves us to item 4, Mayor's comments.
Thank you, Katie. Very quickly, COVID numbers as they are in totality. State of Connecticut's at 770,762. Litchfield County's at 28,611, which is up 163 from Friday. Hospitalizations for the entire county is 8, which was up 3 from Friday. New Milford is at 5,023, which is up 19 from Friday. As we talked about before, when Lisa Morrissey was here, we expected this increase as it mimics what it kind of did last year. That's due to the fact of the gatherings that we had for Easter, Passover, and Ramadan. We'll see the numbers come down a little bit. We'll see another uptick from talking to Lisa right around Memorial Day for the gatherings, and then similarly around 4th of July, and then we'll have that lull again, but this is going to mimic the flu. So we just need to be prepared, which we are. We still have ability to get vaccinated if you choose at Pettibone. Also, we have COVID testing, and we have the rapid PCR testing from the health district on Wednesdays. And there's also the therapeutics that have now come out that you can get those therapeutics at CVS and numerous commercial pharmacies.
And Pete, at what point do we at least put a pause on the vaccines when people can go to any of the private businesses to get the vaccines?
You know, Mike, great question. We've really only gone down to like 1 day now where we've done it. And we're just kind of seeing the numbers. So Lisa is monitoring that.
And what other numbers?
The numbers for vaccination, I'll get those for you.
Yeah, I mean, I just,
And
you
it's
know
not
me,
our-
I'm private sector all the way.
Yeah,
If the
it's
private
not- it's
sector
not
can
the-
handle
It's
it.
not the town,
It's
though.
not us doing it. That's, you should know that.
We have, we're in partnership with Griffin Hospital. So they're,
So they're running, it's not using any of our employees or?
Just the, coming out the front
just
door,
the
Betty.
health district itself. Okay, moving on to infrastructure, the Milford Town Hall roof. That project's almost completed. As you come outside, you can see they're still doing a little bit of the woodwork on the side here. Masonry, right, Jack? That's, they're finishing up with that. Looks beautiful. And what was really good news is we have the red barn in the back. We were able to save some funding from this project, and we're able now to do the roof, to do the shingle roof over there, which is much needed on the red barn. So that's great news.
It looks fantastic.
Oh, awesome. New Milford Library, right up the street, still working on that project. And once that's completed, $8.5 million project, state-of-the-art library. We still are seeing and talking with the contractor. We are still seeing some material shortages, so we're continuing to monitor that on almost a daily basis now. It was weekly, now it's almost daily, and we'll give the town council an update on that as we move a little closer towards the end of June. For roads, we continue with a road program. We just started that. Right now, we're doing Squash Hollow Road, and we put half. Jack, you know if they did some of the binder today, or they're going to be doing? Okay, so we've got the binder going down on Squash Hollow, and the other road. Jack, what was the other road that we're doing? I'll get it. All right, Twin Ridge, that's it. That's all right, me too, that's what I was asking. And we're working on Twin Ridge. As far as the bridges, M&O is working on the Gaylord Road Bridge replacement. The utility wires were removed. They're gonna begin the removal on the 9th. And the box culvert casting is complete, and the dry fit would be set for Tuesday, May 10th at United Concrete to bring it here. M&O is going to be performing landscaping plantings on Mud Pond Road Bridge in the next couple weeks. For the high school roof, United Roofing is continuing the work on the high school roof. Work is still on schedule for that roof. Belfour finalized the smoke remediation at the high school, and the final inspection is scheduled for sometime this week, right, Jack? Or is it next week?
Within a Friday.
All set?
Yep, so the only thing left now is, we also have a final clearance sampling, and I'm just collecting the bills to submit the permit, and that project's done.
Awesome. And then ESG, as we all know, that's the energy partnership that we're having with the Board of Education, our wastewater facility, and the town. It's a $15 million project of capital, much needed capital, and we are using the energy savings and the credits that we get from Eversource, the RECs, to pay for it. And we're currently working on that project. They were lighting and water savings projects at Pettibone, DPW, the town hall. They're finishing replacing the transformers at the high school, Sarah Noble, Scotticoke, and then they're going to begin to do some punch list inspections with Jack and his team. Century Brass site, they removed the well pump from the old on-water well site, and that well is going to be closed for May. That's a requirement that we need. DPW is also working on a site plan submission for the new DPW facility for zoning approval, and we'll have Jack and those guys come up maybe sometime, maybe the second meeting in June. Maybe Jack would come and give an update to the council on that. And as far as the reservoir dam, DPW completed the first 2 steps of that, and the next step is to engage a new engineering firm. So thank you again to the council, the Board of Finance, and the town meeting that allows us to use ARPA funds to get that reservoir dam back up to where it needs to be. The sidewalks, the Route 7 and Aspetuck Ridge sidewalk project, the public sessions are completed. The final design request has been submitted to the Connecticut DOT, and once that gets a little more into the DOT, we'll come back and give you guys an update. And lastly, for the DOT, for roads, we're going to be talking a little bit later about the Chernarski Road, and I'll save that for a little bit later on. The New Milford Police Department, I talked to Chief Ceruto, and since the beginning of the year, we've had over 400 traffic stops. So thank you to the New Milford Police Department, as we're really focusing on traffic enforcement here in New Milford. I also spoke with Representative Bill Buckby and Representative Pat Callahan concerning a traffic study on the Wellsville, next to Windmill Diner, that strip that we've seen a few very serious accidents. So we're talking to them, and they're actually on our behalf helping us get through the Connecticut DOT maze.
Good.
To get that traffic study, so we're excited about that. The senior center, I spoke with Jasmine, a couple of just data points for us. Last week, 503 seniors used the senior center. 23 new members are now in the last month at the senior center. The buses gave 115 rides last week, and 145 meals for seniors were done last week as well. Concerning the youth agency, Our therapeutic program, which we started with the approval of the town council, that's going very well, speaking with Jason. We continue to work with our child care providers. And one of the things that we're doing within our own system, and thank you to Laura, as far as the summer programs that the youth agency is doing and Park and Rec, is we're implementing our own bullying protocols. We're not going to stand for that at all. There's going to be disclosures that parents are going to have to sign to let them know that we're not going to tolerate bullying at all. We had our anti-bullying task force meeting this morning. I'll be updating the council towards the end of the month on some of the things that we're going to be doing and progressing with that. And lastly, events that'll be coming up real quick. I'm only going to do up until June. So May 14th is Park and Rec's townwide tag sale, first one that we're doing. Some other towns have done it, like Bethlehem. I think it's pretty cool. Thank you, Laura, giving us our first shot at this. I think it's going to be great. It's May 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday. On May 21st and the 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. is the third annual Goat Days. I did see today where they listed there's going to be lots and lots of vendors, nonprofits, food trucks. It's going to be pretty awesome.
And goats.
And goats, absolutely. On May 21st, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Deming Park, the Kids Fishing Derby. So if you have a youngster that loves to fish or wants to try it out, go to Deming. It's a great spot to do it there.
Excellent.
On May 21st also, at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the green, the Milford Garden Club is going to do their plant sale. And you know, I'm thankful because when I go there to get my plants, they usually make sure that they guide me to like the toughest
Right
plants. So at least they'll be alive for a little while.
Those that don't need sun or water, that kind of thing?
On May 30th is at 10 a.m. starts our Memorial Day Parade downtown. And then earlier, I believe at 8, is the Gaylordsville Memorial Day Parade. So 2 parades. So if you get a chance to see both of them, they're great. It's a great
After the
opportunity.
parade,
After the parade,
the Housatonic, the great
Yep.
Housatonic duck
he's
race.
going to do the duck race. Hopefully my duck actually will make it down the river. I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
Okay.
Oh, you're watching a ducky derby. You never know what the long shot can do, Steve.
Yeah, exactly. And then real quick, June 4th from 10 to 4 on the green is the Women's Club's 25th Annual Teddy Bear Festival. That's coming back after a 2-year hiatus. On June 6th, the MSVPSOS Annual Bob Razor Memorial Golf Tournament. And MVPSOS, for those that don't know, if you have a child or know someone that can't afford to get into a sports program or the arts, these guys will help sponsor that child. On June 12th from 11 to 4 at Candle Wolf Park, which is right by Kimberly Clark Pets in the Park. On June 18, Oddfellows Roast Beef Supper. Always a good meal there. June 23rd, 6:30 p.m., Rock the Block. And we have a lot more stuff going on, and I'll continue to update the council as we continue to move forward through the summer. But lots of events come down to New Milford on Saturdays, too. We got the farmers market, lots of unique shops all throughout the downtown.
That's right.
Antiquing, if you'd like to, start the Elephant's Trunk. Justin's one right down below that, and then make your way all the way up through New Milford. Great time. So,
Yep.
thank you.
Great, thanks, man. Item 5A, move to, this is at the request of Evolve Yoga, Wellness, and Nutrition. I would move that we approve closing the southern crossover on the green on Saturday, June 11th, 2022, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. They're going to paint the crosswalk as part of the Pride Picnic event on the green. The rain date would be June the 12th, 2022, and this is, of course, pending Traffic Authority approval.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
And item 5B, move that we approve the request from the Parks and Recreation Department to, on Saturday, July the 30th, 2022, that they would like to have Youngs Field Road closed from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for the New Milford Irish Road Bowling. The rain date is August the 6th, 2022, and again, this is also pending Traffic Authority
You
approval.
know, Katie, I cannot, when we have a second, I cannot wait to
See,
see
oh, you never saw? it?
Irish
Road bowling.
road bowl.
Yep.
Quite a bit of, are they going for liquor?
Did you ever go to a rugby match?
Absolutely.
Well, it was similar to what they do after those.
Okay. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
All
Thank you.
right. Item 6, move to accept the request from Public Works to transfer $114,000 from account 10430-100-56003. That's the Material and Supplies Winter Maintenance account, and move that to account 10430-100-56905, which is the Highway Construction Maintenance account.
And speaking with Mike.
Second.
Thank you. And speaking with Mike Boucher, our highway foreman, and Jack, who's here, our DPW director, our roads this year took a major beating, as we can see. With the weather, we had warm weather, then cold weather, then rain, and then ice, and then snow, which caused our roads lots of potholes, some, some that require more than just a pothole machine. So this money will be used to do some skim coating, as you've seen us do some already. This allows us to do more. Jack, who's here, obviously approved this. I talked to our finance director. He's on board with this. I think this is a great use of reappropriating these funds as winter is over, and use those to do some skim paving to our road system.
Absolutely.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Item number 7, ARPA Fund distribution. I'd like to move that we set a town meeting for May 23rd, 2022 at 6:30 PM, E. Paul Martin Room, for the following: Sober House support, $33,000. HVA River Programs, $3,034. And library adjustment for the makerspace, $59,774.
And Katie, I'd also
Second.
entertain if someone could add to your motion, or if you could add to the motion.
Oh, yes.
And that would be $75,755. That's for the Gaylordsville Volunteer Fire Department. This is to a town meeting.
Oh, we left that off.
And that is to make sure that this was done, I believe,
It was approved.
it was approved by
Yeah.
the town council and the Board of Finance.
Yeah.
It just never made it to the town meeting. I had Tammy go through this to make sure that we're all matched up.
Okay. You want to
So
just
that
add
wasn't
it,
on
or
there? Yeah,
should we
if you
suspend the
could.
rules, or?
If you could add that to your motion, that would be great.
All right, so I'd like to add the
With your second.
$75,755 for the Gaylordsville Fire Department.
Second.
Second.
Okay,
No, it's my turn.
okay, and real
Go
quick, and just real quick, as you're seeing the attachment that I put out there, this shows, for instance, I had some people ask, the 24,000 was already done for
So-
addiction services.
Right, correct.
And as you can see on your sheet here, that would be the second page, where it shows, Katie, you moved to approve the 24,000 for addiction and depression programming, which is going to be determined. And then you see right underneath there is the 83,774 for the library. It went to the last town meeting, which was on April 11th, for the library of 24,000. So that's the differential that we're asking to go to the meeting now for, to balance out
Got it.
the 84. Then the first page, you're going to see where we moved 33,000 from ARPA funds for the vouchers, 24,000 for the Heritage Inn, 9,000 for the Hope House and Grace House and Phoenix House. So that came to 33,000. And then, as I said before, the differential on the Gaylordsville Volunteer Fire Department for the 15 sets of turnout gear.
Correct.
Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Okay, Mayor, item 8, like to move that we take action on the gross vehicle weight limit ordinance for New Preston Hill Road, Chernisky Road, and Barker Road.
Thank you, Katie.
Second.
Thank you. When we had our discussions when it came to the Chernivtsi Bridge, a lot of comments that we heard in public participation, as well as some of the letters, was the feeling is the larger trucks would be using that road, and it could be a safety issue there. Also, using that road as a thoroughfare to Kent and whatnot. So Jack, we sat down and talked about, is there other ways that we maybe be able to mitigate it? And Jack met with some of the surrounding towns, and we looked about putting a gross weight limit on the road. And as you can see in your packet that we have here, which I believe is
Item 8A.
item 8A. Jack, if you'd like to talk a little bit about it, or if anybody has any questions for Jack. Joe?
I'm going right to the end. Randy, is that the most we can charge for a fine?
Yeah, section 51A-164O says that if it's a violation of a local ordinance, it's an infraction, which is a $90 fine.
You know, in New York City, parking tickets more?
We're not New York City.
Yeah, it's applying, you know. Location.
And may I ask, is there any limit on the number of times a person or a vehicle could be fined?
No.
Okay, just checking.
But it can't go up.
That's the statutory amount that the legislature has set.
But I mean, if a trucking firm, let's just say, decided to go that way every day, they could be fined every
Every
day
day.
for $90.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Any other questions concerning the weight limitation?
Truck is something like that.
So I have a question.
About a 16-ton.
I have a question, Pete.
Yep,
How are
Mary
we
Jane.
going to monitor this? How is this going to be monitored of the weight and size of the trucks coming through?
Jack?
That's a law enforcement.
It'd be we'd ask the police to do some patrolling there, obviously,
There'd be signs, right,
and there's
Jack?
signs that are there as well.
How do you know that the truck is overweight?
The truck, just to give you an idea what the size truck we're talking about, it's about the size of one of our municipal dump trucks. If that's what I use. In fact, I talked to Mike and we said, okay, 30,000 pounds, I took 2,000 pounds more, I made it 32,000 pounds. So now, the sign, the way that the state words this, and Randy and I went back to what the DOT laid out. There will be a sign that tells you the weight limit, but underneath that sign, there will be another little placard that indicates for local vehicles who are doing deliveries like oil trucks, pool water, tree cutting trucks, whatever. There is an exemption as long as they're just local and they're delivering to those roads. You don't want to prevent that from occurring.
So no through trucks,
Right.
and there's several signs, right? One before they get to the bridge and one.
Well, it's
right
not for the
at-
bridge. It's for the road.
Oh, for the
And
road,
what I did is
sorry. But
I-
before they get on the road, there's,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah, what we did is and I took the guidance from DOT, they guided us, and I talked to the first selectman in Washington, I talked to I talked to Kent, and they asked me to talk to the Public Works Director, I spoke with him, and actually, Washington has one road right now that has a limit on it, and it's about 16,000 pounds, 32,000 pounds, so that, I figure that's a good number. And I told them what we were doing, so the moment that New Preston Hill Road crosses the Washington line, from there on, it's our road, and it's a weight limited. And when I talked to DOT, they said, make sure you make it so they won't go and use other roads, which I think has occurred with Bear Mountain and things like that. So that's why we did the series of roads going, using Chernivtsi, New Preston Hill Road, and Barker Road. I looked at West Meeting House. I decided not to do that because that comes all the way down the center of town. I was concerned about other traffic on it, so I spoke with Kent. I'm hoping that Kent will implement their own weight limit at the town line. But that's not a convenient way, and I spoke with DOT, and this is what they recommended, so we went with it.
So the three roads that are covered under this was the most obvious way that a truck would go.
Yeah.
So the trucks that can't go on there, is it matter if their load's heavy? I mean, full or certain trucks, if their load's empty, will be able to be on there? I mean, how do you know? Or is it just certain trucks you know are over?
It's gross vehicle weight.
Yeah.
It's the
Okay.
total weight that vehicle can carry.
Okay, so
period.
it's
And it's on their registrations, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I'm looking over to the men in blue.
Oh,
It should be written right on the truck. It should be on the
Right.
On the outside of the truck also?
So spot checks
So
and things.
I have another question. Is this gonna be for the temporary bridge and the new bridge?
Yep,
for the road.
for permanently for
It
the
will
road.
both?
It's for the entire road.
Yep,
yeah.
it's
Right.
it's permanent.
I'm good.
Okay.
Great.
Jack, thank you for working with the other towns and getting this done, and appreciate it.
Thanks, Randy, too.
Any other questions? We have a motion. and a
Great
second.
job. I have one quick question.
Yep,
Great
Tom.
job, Jack. What's the status of the temporary bridge at Chernirsky? When do we think that's going to be operational?
We issued the purchase orders to Barton LaJudas to do the engineering. We issued the purchase order to M&O to do the construction. We ordered the bridge. All the components for the bridge are available, which is lucky, so they're setting those aside. Barton LaJudas will be at the Inland Wetlands meeting this Thursday to present the permit application for that. The engineers, Barton LaJudas is finishing up the temporary bridge abutment design. They're working with Acro Bridge for that design. I expect that it probably August sometime the bridge will be installed. That's what we're looking at. By the time we get the temporary abutments put in and all of the permits in place and everything set, I expect it'll be sometime in August.
Great. Thank you, Jack.
So, Jack, I have another question. Is there a weight limit on the temporary bridge?
It meets all the road standards. It's not weight limited. You can't design a bridge to be substandard.
Okay.
Any other questions? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah,
Any
People
abstentions?
at home are asking all
Thank
the
you.
questions 'cause they're home.
Next.
Item 8B, I'd like to move that we do the following transference: $10,000 from the contingency fund account 1098000588900 to the New Milford Police Department overtime account number 10420151330 for additional traffic enforcement.
As I had stated in
Is
the,
there a second? Second. Chris?
as I had stated in the mayor's comments before in speaking with the chief and the captain, lieutenant, we're very successful. We had the funds, the council and the Board of Finance approved to do additional traffic enforcement. We continue to see the need for even more traffic enforcement. We're going to be doing quite a bit of it on Route 7 and some of the major arteries. And this money will go a long way in really having our police force continue with really pushing forward for traffic enforcement, especially now with the weather getting a little better. We kind of really want to make a focus on that.
A question? Really directed towards you two. So I'm happy that we're doing this and the enforcement has been great so far. Does that include enforcing for distracted drivers because they're on their cell phones?
We have
Yes, actually, we just finished a state grant for distracted driving this past week, and those stats will be out soon, so it's all modes of traffic enforcement.
Because that is by far one of the biggest dangers. And it's everywhere. So thank you. That's good to know. What's your name?
Captain Al Wilcoxon.
Chris?
Just want to emphasize, and I know you hear it more than I do, Mayor, but the biggest concern I hear from people around town is speed and traffic.
Yep.
So anything you guys can do to.
I appreciate that, and just we've been hitting it hard so far this year. The first 4 months of the year, we had over 680 motor vehicle stops by officers. That's not including motor vehicle accidents and things that infractions get issued, and almost 40% of those are all along the Route 7 corridor right there.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's really bad there, as you know,
Yep.
recent events as well, and
Yep.
I think it'll go a long way for, the chief has a concept also of teams, so instead of just having a single officer, because as soon as you pull over one
Right.
car,
Right.
they know you're distracted,
Yeah.
you're focusing on
Right.
the person you just pulled over, so we have a strategy for that, and we're using some of these stats to help us get there.
And that's for just people in town council, that the speaker will know it, but no one else will.
Sure, whatever you need.
But I would ask you
no
one more
conflict of
thing.
interest there at all.
You know, the light at the intersection, you know, if you come across the bridge, the big Y intersection
That's
there.
T.
If I had $1 for every person just I see going through in both directions, coming out of Big Y or going along Route 7, who go one person through the yellow light that's been yellow a while, the second one who hits the red, and the third car that most definitely goes through the red. I know we haven't had any fatalities there, but it's just a matter of time. They drive so fast. And I would be happy to sit there and take pictures of this if you'd like. And- Yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I don't know how people have the chutzpah to do it and think they're not gonna get hurt or hurt somebody else.
Couldn't agree more, and
Right.
I hate to blame COVID, but I think a lot of people were used to driving with very few people on the road. They were driving faster, and it's not that way now. People are going back to work, and we're starting to get there, and the roads are more crowded, and people are not very considerate, so.
Consider it, doesn't even begin to. I just see how quickly they go, and I just see blood all over the roads on its way one of these days. But anyway.
The other thing we need to remember, which is good, is out there, is that, I saw in the paper, the warning drivers to beware, motorcycles are back on the road given the weather, and we've had an unusual number of
Yes,
significant motorcycle accidents in the state of Connecticut. So watch out for
but
the
you guys
two-wheelers.
are on the case, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Kevin.
Motion, second,
Before you adjourn.
Randy?
They did vote.
We have to vote on this, Randy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think you
We
voted.
didn't hear.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye,
Any
aye.
abstentions? Thank you.
Before you adjourn, Your Honor, you have to set it down, a public hearing for the ordinance.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
So let's set it for the 23rd.
You're talking about the
Weight
gross
limit
weight
ordinance.
limit, right?
Yep, the weight limit
Okay,
ordinance.
so would you like to add that, suspend the rules to add that to the
Yes,
agenda?
please.
Second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
item number 9, move to set it's a public hearing, correct?
Only a public hearing, not a
Yeah.
town meeting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Public hearing for May 23rd
Yep,
at 6:45?
We have one at 6:45.
6:30.
We have one at 6:32.
What do we have at 6:45?
ARPA.
Another one. No, we have
I'm looking at ARPA, that's 6:30.
hold on, did one last.
Oh, you're right, Stephanie. So what time should we make this then? 6:15?
6:25.
6:15?
Yeah, six-
No, we don't need
6:25.
All right.
We don't need 15 minutes.
Okay, so item number 9 is I move to set a public hearing for 6:25 on May 23rd to,
Second.
this is for the gross
Patience.
vehicle weight limit ordinance.
And we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a
Wowza.
second?
So if the weather's above 60 outside, I think we have to keep the meetings to 45 minutes. Is that the new rule?
I lost the
Well,
over
as long
under,
as you don't
Mike.
mind more meetings.
All those in favor?
Because we'd have to. Aye. Aye, aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
I did, I had
Take care.
7:30.